Hi, today we have Mr. Rajat Bhattacharya with us, and we will be discussing about like how industry partnership and placements help students and schools to develop and grow accordingly. So, sir, what type of partnerships we have with industries and how they benefit students?
Well, as you know, I've spent almost 51 years in the industry, and it helps tremendously for me to reach out to probably all the industries that encompass the entire ready made garment industry or the fashion world as such. Uh, so, therefore, what we have done is that we have ensured that our school is there to work very closely with the industry. So, be it buying agencies, being it export houses, manufacturing houses, as also some of the best retail brands, that exist in this country. How we develop this partnership is quite different from all that the other schools are able to achieve. So, what we do, even when they are in their third or fourth semester, we start with the fact that we send them out for internships. So, it could be a 4 week internship, it can be a 6 week internship. And this helps the students tremendously to get accustomed to the way of life, to what the industry is really all about. Uh, Classroom teaching is something that is theoretical, but when they go out into the industry and speak and see for themselves, they realize a conjunction between the two. To take a few names, we actually have some of the best brands with us. Our kids today are doing phenomenally well in brands like Puma, Nike, Iconic, Lacoste. Amongst exporters, the largest in India is Shahi, who really always picks up people from us. We have huge factories like the Paragon Group, Super Overseas, the New Times, which is a Hong Kong based global group, Fusion, which is another global group, Allure Global, which is an international company. And if you go and take a look at them over the last 4 years or 5 years, we have a plethora of our students working with them and doing phenomenally well. So I think we are on a very strong wicket when it comes to industry relationships. We often get a lot of people from the industry to come and speak to our students, interact with them, and we take it upon ourselves to send out as many faculties as possible to get that exposure through the industry.
Can you share some of the success stories like where students are right now placed?
Oh, yes. A couple of years ago, and to start with, we had huge before all this problem in Bangladesh started, since I had spent a lot of years in Bangladesh setting up a Pearl Academy as well as a lot of factories there. I sent out a few students who did extremely well, and they had salaries of 22, 23 lakhs, and are still working with these companies. I try to send them as quickly as possible once, even before they finish their graduation. There is quite a lot of our students doing extremely well with Puma, which is, after all, a global 500 company. A recent success story would be our girls and designers working with brands like Allure Global, where in about 6 months' time, this girl has probably got 4 increments, and is a
Wow.
general manager already. So, we've got it in them. Companies like Fusion, which are 800, 900 crore companies, have today 2 to 3 dozen of my students working with them. It's a regular internship program, and then they automatically graduate and get into the jobs. So it's a two-way street that now we have opened up. The industry looks forward to our students. I will not take names against here from about our competitors who are based in Delhi or can be much more, in the limelight, or maybe even older schools. But one thing is for sure, the industry today wants students from lovely professional university to come to them. The simple reason, Our students are grounded, they are hardworking, they are intelligent, and they are there to make a future for themselves. That is very, very important. And most of the industry finds students coming in from the other sectors extremely snobbish or are not ready to work hard. So there lies the difference.
That's great, sir. Now I will ask some another question. Like,
Mhm.
sir, how training and placements help students to develop themselves to prepare for industry?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, a lot of our questions come from all over India, pan India. We have such a great reach. You'll be surprised to know that over 40% of the students actually come to us from South India. Now, there can be always a problem with their way that they speak, especially when they try and speak English. They also have problems with communication. So, very early, right from the first year itself, we have specialized teachers here in the university that take care of communication and start teaching them how to do communication, be it spoken or written or whatever it is. And we call them PEP classes. These are compulsory PEP classes, and every student must go through them. This not only gives them a lot of inputs, this also gives them the confidence as to how to present themselves, how to work on themselves, and recreate a lot of their incidences. Now, the simple mantra that I follow and I tell my students is be smart, look smart, talk smart. That is what is going to get you ultimately a position. So, this is something which we really work on. And then, like I already told you, that it's very important that our students get as much of industry exposure. Therefore, what our faculty does is by the time we are into our second semester, all students, as a compulsory item, are first sent out to mills to go and see how the dyeing process, the fabric process, and everything is done. We send them to the knitting mills where they go and see the entire knitting processes, and then to a manufacturing factory to see how the clothes are actually put together. Because today, making clothes is not a tailoring job, it's an engineering job.
True, sir.
If you have 100,000 Toyotas being made and engineered to perfection, therefore we have 100,000 shirts that needs to be engineered and made perfectly. So that is something which we grind our students with, and therefore our students are doing extremely well in the industry per se.
That was really interesting, sir. Sir, now I will have another question. Like, what makes it like what placement makes different for our fashion schools completely different from others?
Yes, firstly, I think this should go out to the parents and look at it that our chancellor, who is a philanthropist also, has always ensured that we encourage students, especially girl students, and there is a huge scholarship, which is given to our students. Secondly, today every parent looks at an ROI, return on investment. Now, if I'm comparing this with colleges like NIFT or even with Pearl, for Pearl, for instance, takes 32 lakhs plus. NIFT today is at 20 lakhs. Here, if you know the figure, it's only about 10 and 11 lakhs. So the students who go out into the industry get the same jobs, they get the same kind of salaries, and my students here actually get their ROI for their parents back in 2.5 years, as opposed to Pearl when they go there, it take them 10 years to get that money back. So it's a huge advantage, for the students who go from there. Secondly, our whole structure is such that the students are, inculcated with a lot of practical knowledge. Today, we have probably some of the finest labs here. We have the best cutting arrangements. We have technically qualified faculty members. And lately, as you know, that we have been given by the government of India a scholarship, a loan and a grant for over 6.5 crores, which we are getting now a lot of specialized technical textile machinery. So that puts us in a completely different plane. So we are able to get students out to exactly the place where the industry needs them. After all, the student for us is a product which needs to be placed. And uh, you know that the fashion schools over the last 4 5 years, our regular placements are about 85% plus. They work with some of the best designers. They work with some of the best manufacturing companies, the best buying agencies. And as we go ahead, today it's a natural process for our students to grow along with the industry. And I think that is a lot achieved over a few years. And I think as we go forward, there'll be a lot more to give to our students.
Thank you so much for providing such a valuable information, and I think definitely this will help students to grow further in the industry and achieve like milestones and create certain benchmark which is not achieved by different universities and all. Thank you so much once again, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here. And best of luck to our future students coming in. Thank you.
Think Big, Lovely Professional University.